Hello everyone and welcome back to Mossy Pine Ranch at Elmcreek. We have reached episode number 20 and are now in July. It's a lovely summer's morning here at Mossy Pine Ranch, and good news is our barley is ready to harvest. So yep, field number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 are all barley and ready to harvest. Our grass field meadow is also ready to harvest, but that is really at the bottom of the job list today because we need to focus on our barley harvest. Last time we bought our new harvester, the Case Axial Flow. Here it is, and we did some contract harvesting to practice using it, and it performed very well with the largest 45-foot Case draper header. Did a sterling job. It's rather large, but the harvester runs it superbly, and I'm very pleased with the harvester. So today is all around getting the barley harvested, and we're also going to have to deal with the straw that comes out the back of it. Now the straw we don't need to use, we don't have any animals or purpose for the straw, but I want to make sure that we use it and get some money, some proceeds from it. So yeah, we are going to harvest the barley in both fields and then have to deal with the straw. Now I'm grabbing the case and the lizard trailer to position it somewhere around halfway across the field, because yeah, I think we are going to be filling up the harvester quite quickly when it comes to it. So let's get this positioned on down here, I think. I'm going to start harvesting from the top end of the field, the top right corner. So let's just leave the case here for now and scurry back to get our harvester. Here it is, the mighty case. So what is probably best is backing up to grab the header, latching on, and then driving on around the farmyard just so we don't have to do any reversing with the dolly trailer. I like to minimise that as much as possible because my reversing skills are not the best with a standard trailer, let alone a dolly trailer. So let's make our lives nice and easy. So the plan for the barley is we need to feed our chickens. They've actually run out of feed, so they've stopped producing eggs for the time being. But the smaller field, fields 2 and 3, the main bulk of that is going to go towards feeding the chickens. So once we've harvested this field, we'll take the trailers full to the chickens, fill them up with feed, and then whatever's left over we will put in the silo for storage. The best time to sell barley is December, so we're not going to get any proceeds from it just yet, and I'll be wanting to make sure we leave enough in the silo to feed the chickens for the whole year through. But yeah, the main idea is hopefully this big field, 4, 5, 6 and 7 that's ahead of me now, is mainly going to be for sale in December time. So let's get the mighty header attached, get the header folded up, nice tuckable wheels that go away, and then we can get the beast fired up. We also need to, oh no, we don't want to unfold the header again, we want to unfold the harvester. Nice hopper on top that unfolds, and yeah, we should be able to get it fired up now. And I want to make sure that we are not spreading the straw, we are actually making a straw swath, so we make use of it. But let's get started and dig in. Here we go, look at this. Nice width on this header. Oh, I think it's missed a patch there where the terrain is a bit funky. I'll have to come back and get that later. In fact, let's go grab that now, just because I don't want it to be in the way. I think it might be just the odd terrain. There we go. Going a bit slower helped. I think sometimes where the terrain meets the header doesn't always quite catch it. Here we go. Looking good. 16-17% full. So I think we will unload halfway around the headland, or 2/3 way round. Brilliant. Well, I'm going to see to this and catch you when we are done. Okay, that is field 2 and 3 harvested. Let's get the last nearly 3,000 litres of barley in the trailer, and we can see how much we've got from this field in total. Now this field is always a little bit awkward to harvest just because of the shape, but I quite like quirky shapes on fields. It makes it interesting to figure out how best to go about it. Now sometimes the pipe is a little bit finicky as to where it likes to go, so let's just see. There we go. Give it a little nudge and then it starts working. Yeah, the harvester definitely makes quick work of the field thanks to the good width. And now that we've unloaded, we'll get the pipe back in. We will line the harvester up for the next barley field, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And nope. Oh, I was expecting a bit of a jump there. Sometimes when you go over the straw, it makes the harvester rise up. And I think we actually did miss a patch because of the raised barley. Oh, I think I maybe caught it at the end. But yes, it's quite tricky sometimes. You have to watch where the swath is, and where you then sort of pause the harvester, you need to make sure you either reverse or keep going so the straw swath doesn't bulk up too much, because otherwise you then have these big old straw moguls that you have to navigate. Right, so we have 22,521 litres of barley from this field. And we know that barley yields higher than the likes of sorghum. I think we probably only had about 17,000 litres, and that is my memory serving me, hopefully, of sorghum when we did sorghum in this field. So yeah, barley we've got you know, a fair few thousand more, nearly 5,000 litres more. And yeah, I was actually wondering whether we're feeding sorghum to the chickens, whether it then lasts longer, or whether you're better off and it's more economical to feed the chickens something like barley, because it then doesn't get used as much. So there we go, we've gone down to 13,000. And if we take a look at the animal menu, we can see our chickens have got enough grain, but their productivity is 0 because they've had no feed for about a day or so now. But they have been fed once more, and this field is now harvested. So let's get the rest of the barley into the silo. And the reason for that is I just want to zero the scales and get back to nothing in the trailer, so I can try and see how much volume of barley we get from the bigger field. In it goes. This trailer empties quite quickly, which is handy. So let's get over to the big field and position the trailer again somewhere where it's going to serve the harvester best. I am a solo rider. I don't have any help. I could get a helper to run the harvester while I do some carting, but I actually enjoy doing the harvesting quite a bit. So yeah, I need to sometimes jump between the harvester and the tractor and trailer, but that's not too much of a problem. So I think we will go all the way down to the end of this strip, and we will just see where it would be best. I'm thinking that we'll actually go round the corner and halfway, and that's my guess at where the harvester is going to be 100%. Might be entirely wrong, might go further, might go not as far, but we shall see. So let's run back to the harvester. Here she is. Okay. Right, so it's just a matter of switching on and going for it again. And away we go with field number 2. So this one will be a little bit easier. It's a squarer shape, so it's not going to have some of the awkwardness, and it's entirely flat, so makes our lives much easier. So I'm now straight away thinking that I've probably majorly underestimated how much the harvester is going to get round of the headland before it needs to unload. But I can always back it up, so better to be safe than sorry. Yeah, I'm going to do the headland, break into some rows, and then we'll see how much we've got at the end of this harvest. See you in a short while. Right, and there we are. Just unfolding the header, giving it a lower so we can detach it, and get hitched up, as we are all done with the harvester now. Last thing we need to do is just unload the 7,600 litres of barley that's left in there, and we can see what the total is. But yeah, that was a good harvest. Did enjoy that. Sometimes a little bit tricky just keeping it straight, and especially for me when I'm trying to do the front way views, I can sometimes get a little bit confuddled with the steering and then managing the joy for the camera view. But yeah, not my straightest work, but not my wonkiest either. So yeah, it was nice to get that done. Let's just drive up alongside and get the pipe out. Yeah, as you can see, we've got a couple of wonky rows where I then tried to straighten up, and then yeah, we got straight right at the end, so that is good. So let's hop in the case once more and line up so we can unload, and the unloading should be much easier now we haven't got the header attached. We should just be able to drive nicely underneath and keep the pipe central with the trailer, and that way we can unload much more efficiently. The pipe is just a tad too short for the width of the header, so makes unloading a little bit tricky. And that's it done. 44,792. There we go. Pretty good yields from that field. I think that's very close to double of the first field we harvested, fields 2 and 3. So yeah, pretty good. We're going to get this in the silo, store it till December when we can sell it at a peak price, and we'll probably keep around 15 to 20,000 litres in storage for the chickens to keep them fed for the full year. In it goes, nicely pushed back by the metal plate in the trailer. But that's all in. Very good. So we can get the trailer parked up. Could probably do with a wash actually. Let's give it a wash. In much need of a wash. And to be fair, I probably should have given it a wash before we put any barley in it, as previously it had silage. But nonetheless, that's alright. That's not going to matter. Just give it a quick service while we're here as well. And the tractor is definitely in need of servicing, so let's get that done. The tractor needs to be serviced quite regularly because we do run it through its paces. It's the main workhorse of the farm, so yeah, needs to be looked after. Right, that's parked up. Let's get the harvester put away. Let's put the auger back in, and we can now fold it up as well. We'll probably give it a wash as well. It's been out in the dusty field. Could probably do with giving the harvester and the header a service as well. Keep them in good condition. Right, that's where we're storing the header until we can find some better digs for it. Did talk about some expansion last time to the big field where we did a cultivating contract once, and yes, around 400, nearly 500,000, so we're going to have to make sure we save up enough money for that sort of growth of the ranch. But that is the harvesting all done, so we can turn our attention to baling. Now for the baling, I'm going to use our old friend the John Deere. Doesn't get used too much, so I definitely want to use it where possible. This is 100 horsepower and the baler only requires, I think, around 45. So it's perfect for the job of baling. Just going to get the bucket and the crossbar dropped off, because we don't need that for the baler, I don't think. Right, so here is the baler. We've not touched this in a long while, as we've not had a great deal of baling to do. We've obviously switched from baling our grass and wrapping it to just forage wagoning it into our silo. So yeah, we've not used it for a long while, and I think it has some grass left in it. Yep, the hitch looks to be good, so we don't need to worry about that. Right, we don't need to start where we've started for the harvesting, so let's get this unfolded if it needs unfolding. Now we can turn it on, lower it, and away we go. I do wonder how this baler is going to cope with the volume of straw that we've got, and also the width of the swath, as yeah, the swaths are quite wide. There we go. Need to unload. I can turn on automatic drop, so we will do that to make our life easier. But yeah, we'll have to see how this baler gets on, because I can see that it's missing little bits around the side, and on the big bits like this it is going to miss the edges, so we're not going to get the benefit of collecting all the straw. But how much that contributes, I don't know. I don't really want to spend money on a new baler. Don't think we've got any on offer at the moment. I would probably go for a square baler if we were going to. Right. So I'm going to meander my way around the swaths and try and get as much straw as possible. So I'll see you when we are done. And there we are. That is the first field all baled up, and we've got quite a few bales out of it, so that was really good. Now there are a few little patches, but I have gone around and collected bits that I did obviously miss, but where we've got a little bit where the swath was wider than the collecting, I'm just going to leave that. That can contribute towards the yield of the next crop. But yes, I think based on the volume of bales, I am going to have to get our old friend the Anderson round bale stacker. I could have got a bale fork and manually loaded these onto a trailer, but A, we don't have a very large trailer, only a small one for taking some of our produce to the sell points, and B, that would have taken quite a long time with the volume of bales we've got. So yeah, I'm thinking we'll go get the Anderson trailer, and the animal dealer is only just down the road where the best price for straw is. So yeah, I'm thinking we will make some quick trips with that. Yeah, there we go. The bales are firing out of here quicker than I can sometimes brake and release them. So yeah, having to do a fair amount of reversing. And I think this is the last hurrah of this baler. There is also a case variant of this baler. We've obviously picked up the New Holland one, but since we purchased it, the modder, the source of where this baler came from, has released a red case branded one, which looks quite nice, and that probably would have been a better fit, but at least the New Holland gold matches our nice gold straw. But yep, this will probably be the last hurrah of this baler. The ranch is growing and we need to upgrade the equipment. It can't quite manage the full width of the swaths produced by our harvester, so it's not going to be feasible and workable for the long term. But it has done a grand job, so what we will do is we'll probably take the baler for sale and pick up the Anderson bale stacker after we finish baling this up. So once again, back to baling, and I'll see you when we're done. And that is us all done. I was motivated to pick up some of our scrappy bits so we could get one more bale out of the baler. But yeah, there's a few patches as before on the other field, but that's just mainly down to the width of the baler. And yeah, I was sort of getting a bit more used to it towards the end, trying to gauge where to drive on the swath to make sure we've got as much of the width as possible. So I'm just going to quickly go give the baler a service and a wash so we can take it to be sold, and we'll hop in the case as that's faster, and it's also the tractor we need to be able to pull the Anderson bale stacker. I would like to have loaded these manually, get a big old bale trailer and a nice front loader to load them in, but just too many to handle for me on my own, so need the auto stacker to bail me out. Give it a service and a nice wash for its send-off. Alright, we'll just drop it there for the case to come and pick up, and we'll park the John Deere back at the farmhouse. Grab the baler and off to the shop. Right, at the dealership, the store, and if I've never mentioned before, it's probably worth saying that you can get more for your item if you sell it at the store. From the menu, the garage menu, you can sell it directly, but it always is best to sell it at the store for more money. Farewell, baler. So we can sell it for $19,792. Right, time to pick up the old Anderson, and it is this one, the RBM 2000. Right, here it is, and it's $2,500 to lease, so pretty good price if you ask me. Back at the ranch, and we're going to start on the far side to get the bales that are furthest away. And yeah, we passed the animal dealer, so it's just down the road. Won't be too long to get these bales loaded up and sold. But just to check the straw prices again. Oh yes, the animal dealer is no longer the best place to sell. South Valley Biomass Plant is, but there's only $3 in it, so I'm not going to drive further just for that. So yeah, we are unfortunately in the lull of where straw is priced, so it's around $100 at the moment. We can get up to $140, in January, but I'm not going to be hanging around till then because we don't have somewhere to store this, and we also we don't have a need for straw, so having only $40 in it per 1,000 litres isn't going to make too much of a difference to the farm. But here we are loading up the bales. This is a tri-stack one, and yeah, the orientation to pick them up is this way, so they load correctly. So I will try and do that for the remainder. So leave this with me. It's quite a nice view of all the golden bales in the distance. Leave this for me and we can get this all collected and sold. And there we are. We've collected up all the bales and sold them all. There's just 4 left in the field, so we're doing the last little trip over there. But yeah, that is the field all cleared now. And yeah, we've made some reasonable money from the straw bales, so we'll take a little look. So we've got a summary of the profits. Yeah, that would have just otherwise been strewn across the field, but this way we get some money from the byproduct of the crop straw. Not only does it carry lots of bales, but it unloads them in a nice fashion rather than stacking them upright. There we go, there's another 2,000. Let's have a look at the summary. So here we go. Sold bales, $27,548. That is definitely not to be forgotten because, you know, that's a good amount of income for the farm. And yeah, you could argue that if we'd have scattered the straw, it would have contributed to the yield of the next crop. But yeah, straw sells for money, especially we've invested in a baler. And the animal dealer, you know, they need a lot of straw, so they pay a reasonable price for it. So yeah, $100 or thereabouts per 1,000 litres, and we've got $25,000 from that, which is a nice little top-up, especially when we can't sell the barley yet because we want to hold out for the optimum price. So that's a nice little stopgap. Right, I don't quite know why I'm taking the trailer back to the farm, but rather than getting it back to the dealership myself, I might give them a call and see if they will come and pick it up from the ranch entrance. There we go, they've come and picked it up, which was nice and handy, didn't have to drop it back. But yeah, that is the 2 fields harvested of all the barley, the straw all baled and stacked and taken for sale. So what next? The fields are going to need to be turned over and prepped for the next crop, and I am going to actually switch on precision farming, which is a new mod that's out for FS22. Used it in FS19 and I'm actually using it on the Calmlands series with Nordic Farming as well. But yeah, we want to have a little look at precision farming and see how mulching, yeah, we've obviously harvested this field, so we've got the opportunity to mulch barley. I think you can mulch it, and see what that does to the sort of nitrogen levels or the you know, balance of the different needs of the field. Yeah, we're going to have to see what mulching does, and then we've also got quite a bit of digestate to use, so interested to see how that applies with precision farming. So yeah, we'll be testing out mulching and digestate spreading with precision farming, which will be nice to try. I also have the grass field to the left of me, which is ready to mow. So I've done quite a bit of that. I don't think I'm going to do that on screen, but perhaps later this evening, once I've had a little break, I might come out to the grass field, get it mown and get it in the silo so it starts its fermentation. But that is it for today. A big thank you for your views, likes and subscribes. If you've got any tips, tricks or things you'd like me to do, then please feel free to leave a comment. But all there's left to say is, I hope you have enjoyed watching, and until next time, I will catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.